Okay, and welcome back to Sword Factory Reforged, and as you have seen by the title, in today's video we are going to be discussing, has Sword Factory Reforged already failed? Has it kind of, just already fell off completely? Or is there still time to save this game, and what really is the current problem and what is causing it? So let's get straight into it. So Sword Factory Reforged right now is basically the fourth iteration of the Sword Factory franchise. We've of course had the original Sword Factory by Samir Devs. We've had Sword Factory X, which is by far the most popular version of the game ever, and of course the best version in my opinion as well. We also had the original Sword Factory revamp, which really did not go down too well. And now of course we are here with Sword Factory Reforged, which is of course the fourth iteration, and it has had some mixed reviews so far. And of course it does really come with its own problems and causes. So really, of course, this game was bought from Ederites and the rest of the dev team who made Sword Factory X, which is really a massive game to just relive off of, because Sword Factory X really was the best version of Sword Factory in terms of all of the different versions. By far, it had a lot of new features and a lot of really interesting things as well. It was very smooth, very good looking. It had the re-enchanter, we had the dungeons, we had all sorts of really cool modes, and just overall the game looked really good. I think really the only problem was the fact that it had a lot of lag issues, which did kind of drive a lot of players away. However, this game does seem to have fixed the lag issues, but it has come at a massive cost at pretty much getting rid of everything else. So how you could basically describe this game right now is it is the complete opposite to Sword Factory X. It has no features whatsoever, but it is fairly smooth and it is more or less bug free. The game of course did launch with quite a lot of bugs, however they have seemed to have sorted out most of them as of now, which is always a really good thing. However, honestly, the lack of content for this game right now is a massive deal breaker for a lot of people. And I think right now the active player count is reaching levels which are almost irrecoverable or unrecoverable, whatever the word is, because right now it's at around 150 players, which is very low considering even when Sword Factory X was at its probably at its worst, with the updates finishing and everything like that, it still kind of averaged around 400 to 500 players. So it does show right now that this game really is not taking well to any of the player base. Now of course there is a lot of people who are very just, I can't even describe the word, I guess loyal to the game, such as everyone on the leaderboard right here. These people are of course going to be very loyal to the game. Now the only reason these people are probably so loyal is because they've either been in the Sword Factory community for so long that it's just kind of their home, or of course the only incentive really for them to play the game is to stay on the leaderboard. So right now, yeah, that shows a bit of a problem already. The fact that there's really only two ways that people really want to be playing this game is either because they've just played it for so long, what's the point in leaving, or of course there's only really leaderboards. In terms of everything else, there's not really any reason for people to play. New players will pretty much be shooed away very quickly due to a lack of content. It is very easy and very quick to actually get to the maximum stuff. As you can see, things like Hyper Plus Plus is basically the best rarity right now in the game, which is very easy to get to. A lot of people could probably do this in way less than a day, and honestly, that is quite a problem to say that this game really has a lifespan right now of probably maximum 2 hours before people just start really losing interest and disappearing from the game. So yeah, right now there is a massive lack of content to the game. Now this could be all sorts of reasons. Of course it is a brand new dev team, so they might still be ironing out some issues in terms of just the whole dev team, who wants to do what's going to actually happen with the game as well. And of course we have had a roadmap recently, which was really exciting at first, but however, thinking about it a little bit more now, it's honestly just something that should have been added into the game in the first place. The re-enchanter being one of them should have always stayed in the game 100%. There is no reason for that to go, and the fact that that is basically being named as a major update is pretty bonkers in my opinion. the fact that a feature that we've already had before, which could quite easily just be re-added to the game the exact same way it was in Sword Factory X, is being called a major update is definitely pretty saddening. Of course, as well, the other 2 major updates are just honestly nothing. We have new rarities as one of the new major updates, which honestly, yeah, really does need to get added in. Hyper Plus Plus is pretty devastating. And then of course some new islands as well, which could genuinely be a decent update depending on how they do them. However, if it is just going to be something similar like Icy Plains, Sand Candies and New Island, just a new island, a new look and slightly better rarities and stuff in there, then honestly it's not going to be worth a major update whatsoever. We haven't had any new news either, or any new features that will actually be new to the whole Sword Factory game. So of course, again, there doesn't really seem to be much creativity right now throughout the whole dev team, which again is just pretty devastating. And then another problem as well that a lot of people have been talking about is the lack of community engagement with the game and the dev team. And of course, I have seen developers talking to the community every now and again in the Discord server, which is always really good. However, the fact that it isn't really as much as people would expect, and also the fact that, of course, the game right now really has no ideas whatsoever, and the fact that really in the community there's a lot of people with some really good ideas, however they just genuinely go unanswered, unheard and everything like that. And a lot of people are tired right now of the dev team really not listening to the community whatsoever. Now this of course could be, you know, just something that is all speculation. They could genuinely be listening to the dev team, of course. Well, the dev team could be listening to the community, of course, and just not really showing it, because they could release random updates here and there with people's ideas and actually revive the game. However, right now the game is slowly becoming, you know, just kind of irrelevant and slowly getting to a point of no return. 150 active players is honestly very, very low, especially comparing it to Sword Factory X, which I'm pretty sure at this time is probably still even averaging similar numbers, if not even maybe better at some points as well. If I just quickly search up right now Sword Factory X and just have a quick look at its player count just to compare it, it's got 50 players, which of course isn't really great either, but the fact that the game is like kind of dead at this point and confirmed to be dead, it still shows that this game should have way more than 150 players, and really does show that this game does need some updates sooner or later. The fact that we've not really had any update schedule as well does show some pretty poor future for this game. The fact that we've not really had any updates whatsoever in a whole month also shows a very poor update schedule, and I don't really think people in the community are going to be wanting to really wait around a whole month for just some small updates that come with just 1 or 2 rarities, an island and, you know, the re-enchanter. So honestly right now this game is becoming slowly and surely irrelevant, and it's pretty sad to see. I think a lot of people really had some nice and, you know, just a really positive attitude for the game, were really encouraged by this game, and the fact that it is already so dead and just kind of boring at this point, very bland, really does show that this game really needs to make a change now. I don't even think it's better to say sooner or later, because this game really does need to change right now. So yeah, honestly, not really any encouraging signs so far. Hopefully we'll hear some new news shortly. But yeah, that's it from me for right now. I probably won't be making any more videos on this game until we do get some sort of updates, or at least any sort of like sign of an update. So yeah, let me know down below, are you guys like still playing Sword Factory Reforged? Have you completely given up with it, or are you being a little bit patient and just waiting around for some updates? Let me know down below. But yeah, that's it from me. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you all in the next video.